Joining.
Hello, Alexander. Good Friday to you as well. Very pleased to join you.
So I'd like to kick off with what's driving the price action today, in your opinion. We do see slight movements to the upside.
Well, as we can see, since the announcement that there is a kind of an initial agreement between Saudi Arabia and Emirates regarding ramping up production, we have seen kind of a retreat in prices in oil from something that reached something like $77. Now it is trading just slightly above $73, and I believe that has been kind of, the market is less concerned about any kind of shortages in the supply, especially in the summer. And as a part of this agreement, I believe OPEC will be able to pump additional 400,000 barrels, but certainly I don't think they have enough time to do that in August, because we are already at some point towards the mid of the month, and they wouldn't be able to adjust their cargoes for August. So I believe we may see increase in production starting from September. Yet we're still waiting for a date for the group to reconvene again. Of course, it's going to be virtual, and confirm these news that have been circulating over the past couple of days. Of course, here where there's something, just a slight uncertainty here, is that the initial agreement is said to be between Saudi Arabia and UAE, and there needs to be a kind of a vote or consensus by all the other members to support changing the UAE baseline. Just to remind the viewers on the issue here, the United Arab Emirates wanted to increase their production baseline from something like 3.1 million barrels to something like 3.8 million barrels, and they looking for an increase in production by around 400 to 500,000 barrels due to the expansion in their capacity. Of course, OPEC Plus and especially Saudi Arabia has rejected the proposal because it's going to open the doors for other members to expand in their production, and that will have a detrimental impact on balancing the markets. Yet I believe over the past weeks, there's been so much negotiations between UAE and Saudi Arabia, and also including other members, and we have heard that there's already kind of an initial agreement on adjusting the UAE-based production. So as a part of this new baseline production of the UAE, they will be able to produce an incremental of about 470,000 barrels on top of their current production. So but the new baseline is not 3.8 as they suggested. It's I think there is an agreement of about 3.65 increase. So, and that would allow them to have something like 470,000 barrels. But it is not certain if that will be this year or after the agreement expires in April 2022. Because I don't think if they're going to supply it this year, possibly we may end up in a situation where we have 400,000 barrels coming from the whole group and an adjustment of the UAE production. So of course, no one wants to be in a state of oversupply. But I'm kind of more optimistic that the agreement is going to be extended from April 2022 until the end of 2022, so until like end of December, and that should have bring more stability into the market dynamics, because we were expecting something like 2 million barrels shortage in the markets, especially over the summer period, and we have seen that stocks in the US have been declining at an alarming rate. Currently, they are about 435 million barrels. The demand in the gasoline in the US actually shooted just above 10 million barrels, and that is a record increase. In fact, it is even higher than the demand before the COVID-19 pandemic. So these are kind of the concerns and the factors that have been driving the markets over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, in fact, I was wondering, how concerned are you about the stockpiles in the United States, which are decreasing, as you just said? And do you think this is going to have a major impact in the medium term?
I think so. Yet currently the market is kind of had reduced the impact of that decrease due to an expected supply, additional supplies coming from OPEC Plus. Yet, if we do not see a confirmation from OPEC Plus in the next days, then the shortage on the continuing decline in the stocks can send the prices shooting, maybe reaching $80 or so. Yet that scenario is now less likely. So I think if OPEC confirms a kind of the additional supplies coming back, then we may see prices trading at Brent prices trading, as we can see now, between $70 and $75. And that, by the way, brings us to the initial scenario that I have proposed just a month ago or so, that prices shouldn't go above $75 because we were putting that the OPEC agreement should continue to be implemented without any kinds of any disagreements. So if that we come back to the original scenario where OPEC Plus continues to bring back its its kind of incremental barrels in a timely fashion, then prices should stay between $70 and $75.
So far, the integrity and the unity of OPEC Plus is fundamental. Why, in your opinion, at this specific moment, at this very, very important moment for the energy sector?
Because without a consensus and cohesion among OPEC Plus, we can have two scenarios. Scenario one is no agreement on bringing any of the offline barrels back into the markets, and that can lead to a shortage in the markets over the short term. Yet over the long term, if we do not see an agreement between OPEC Plus members, then that potentially can lead to a market oversupply status, which can bring prices down by a significant level. We're talking maybe below $50 if we see kind of a scenario similar to what happened in March 2020. So I think the cohesion here is extremely important in order to balance the price movement, not to have it like too much high and not to bring it to a significant lows. So that's why we need that important cohesion.
All right, thank you very much. Youssef Al-Shamari, CEO of CMarkits, thank you for joining us, and of course have a great weekend ahead.
You too, Alexander. Pleasure to have you.